Portland Trailblazers. The vibes for the Blazers are strong right now. I would say the Hornets, for what it's worth. I'm sorry, we didn't give a number on the Hornets. 3.5.
Yeah, 3 to 3.5 for me. I think that it's still that element of realism of like waiting for it to come down to earth a little bit more that drops it closer to a 3. But fun start to the year. Always love the way that they play. 3.5. I'm good with it.
The Blazers might not be a 5, but they're high.
Yeah, they're close. 4.5 right now for me. Awesome.
I had 4.5 as well.
Yeah,
I had 4.5. This is Dame looks like he is back to being the guy that is one of the best players in the NBA. He's averaging 31 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists while shooting 39% from 3 on 10 attempts per game. Anthony Simons is averaging 20 points per game. They're not like a disaster defensively with those two in the backcourt. They've kind of figured out a way to at least make it work on the way to this 5-1 start. Look, they're 10th in the NBA defensively. If they can be 10th in the NBA defensively with the talent they have offensively, oh boy, like they're going to be fine. They're going to be probably a top 12 team in the league. Jeremy Grant has been very solid and steady and been what they would have hoped for. The only guy that I feel like, and Nurkic has had a couple of games, but like Nurkic hasn't been awesome yet. Maybe that the fact that he's had a couple of games though, where he has been pretty good, gives me reason to believe that there is some real room for upside potentially with him. I do think that they could probably use another big. Yeah. Having said that, like some of the small Justice Winslow lineups have really worked well. I love what Josh Hart is doing. You know, he's gone from being a 20 point per game scorer late in the year last year for the Blazers to settling back into being the energy guy, the aggressive guy, bringing everything to the table that way. I think
there's one guy, Sam, that raises the vibes from like a 4 to a 4.5 and closer to a 5.
I wanted to leave him for you. Go ahead.
It's Shaedon Sharpe. Oh, yeah, man.
The Shaedon Sharpe vibes are fun. I like, and I mentioned this on the podcast. Was that you or was that with Schindler? I can't remember.
Yeah.
But I like how simple they're keeping things for Shaedon Sharpe. I'll actually look up what the numbers are. I've definitely seen Shaedon Sharpe dribble, but like I can't remember a dribble off the top of my head. They're just having him cut 45 cuts, backdoor cuts. They're having him space the floor from 3 or just move it along quickly. They're just doing a really good job of keeping it very simple and steady for him in a way that is making it easy for him to make an actual impact off the bench as a teenager that didn't play college basketball, didn't do anything over the course of the last year and a half.
Which is crazy. And he did hit one pretty impressive dribble pull-up over the weekend. Like he slid into the starting lineup. I know Dame is a little bit banged up right now. So Shaedon eating a little... a few more minutes than we'd initially anticipated. The Blazers season was going to come down to, after they drafted Shaedon Sharpe, how do they split the difference between developing their only incredibly high ceiling offensive player over the long term and trying to win basketball games.
Anthony Simons too. I don't want you to get roasted.
Sure. Yeah. I guess he is still young enough to be in that conversation, but I'm thinking more like rookie deals, first couple years in the league. Shaedon is really that high ceiling, high upside guy. How do you navigate the difference between trying to develop him and win games while Damian Lillard is still in his prime? And for them to be 5-1 with Shaedon Sharpe making a positive impact, having the game simple for him, knocking down shots. This is a huge win for the Blazers organization across the board, because not only does Sharpe look like an incredible type of draft pick, even in the top half of the lottery or in the top 10, but he fits what they're trying to do right now, Sam. And that's so hard to be able to do, is plug and play a young guy in the way that they are. It's awesome. They all play with energy and a ton of fun. The way that Lillard and Simons seem to be defending has that chip on their shoulder. Like they want to prove that the narrative about them two being one of the most porous defensive tandems in the league and something that can't work in the playoffs, they want to prove that wrong. I agree with your assertion. They probably still need another bigger body, but this is a team that we drastically underrated, not just because of the talent and the way that they've been able to make it mesh, but the vibes, man. The vibes are on. They all enjoy playing with each other. They play hard every single night. I really like this Portland team.
I do too. I think that they are much, much better than what I thought they would be coming into the year.